In this video, we'll show you one example of how your program for assignment 2 is supposed to behave. So when you run your program, first of all, your program should display enter a command and then add, remove, find, remind, save, load, print, and exit. So these are the possibilities for the user to enter. So let's say if you simply just say exit in the beginning, it's going to print by and terminates. And let's try another example here. If you say add, which means we're going to add a new entry, enter a name, let's say Jim, and then everything is case sensitive for commands and also for name. Let's say it would be month would be 6 and the day would be 19, for example. And now we have one entry in the birthday book, so you can say print, and it's going to print the name followed by a space, followed by the month, followed by the space, and followed by the day. So that's the format you must conform to. Okay, and then let's say we would like to find out Jim's birthday. So now it's case sensitive, so we'd say 6/19, so that's Jim's birthday. And what about we would like to remind all the people who were born on June 19th. Remind, let's say it's going to have June and 19th. And now people born on June 19th, and again, you have to follow this format for displaying the birthday month, followed by a space, and followed by the day. And now Jim is the only one. Let's do another example here. Let's say we just add another person here. Let's say Jonathan, and also let's say he happens to born on the same day as Jim, and then 6/19. And now if you try to do remind, and then because I actually put a space actually after the remind, so you got to be very careful. It has to be exactly REMIND without any space after the end. So that means your program is going to tell me that remind with a space is not a valid command, and you will actually prompt me to enter another command. So remind, and then I would say 6/19. So now it's going to tell me that people born on 6/19 will be Jim and Jonathan. Okay, and also I can choose to remove people from the record. I can say remove, and then now I want to remove Jim from the birthday book. And now if I do print, so now only Jonathan in the birthday book. If I try to remind, okay, remember don't put a space at the end, and then 6/19, so only Jonathan will be reminded. Okay, so that's sort of how it works for add and remove. So currently we actually have, let's see again. So currently we have only one person in the birthday book. Remember in the instructions we said you can only hold up to 10 people's records in the birthday book. Let's just try to add another 9 people to the birthday book so that the birthday book will be considered as full. And then try to add another person, and then your application should really complain. Let's try that. So Jonathan, let's say for simplicity, I'm going to let all the people have the same birthday. Okay, for assignment is not a valid command. So add assignment 6/19, and let's say Niraj, and then add Niraj 6/19. I want to add, and let's say Alan 6/19, and also add Mark 6/19, and also add Tom 6/19. Let's see how many people we have got so far. So if you say print, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's say 4 more. And let's say we got add Jeremy, let's say 6/19. Okay, add, let's say Andrew 6/19, and 2 more. What about add Chris 6/19, and 1 more. What about add Danielle? Okay, 6/19. And now let's double check. We do have 10 records in the birthday book. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And before I do another addition, let's say if I try to do the following, if I say remind, and then let's say 6/20. over here, no one was born on 620. That's quite reasonable. And now, let's say I want to add, and it wouldn't be allow me to do that because I already got 10 people on the records, and as specified in the instructions, you can only hold maximum 10 records in the birthday book. So that's what I will expect to see in your final program. Okay, and now let's say we got 10 records here. So what we can do now is to actually save whatever the current book is. Specifically, if you say print, we're going to store this part of the output into a file. So first of all, assuming that in my case, I actually store my projects inside a directory called CSE114 Assignment 2. Of course, you have to follow what's specified in your instructions. So now inside the Eclipse project, you got bin, you got source. Whatever file I will specify is going to be put at the top level over here. So now, if I say save and enter a file to save the current book, if I say book.txt, okay, if I do that, so now if I go back there, you can see there's a book.txt. Open that. That has exactly the same 10 records there. You can see, make sure whenever you print out your birthday book, you don't actually put any new line after the last record. That's very important. Otherwise, it will be considered as empty line. Make sure you don't do that. Okay. And then after this, we'll go to let's try another feature here. So save is one thing. The other way, we can load the program to actually recreate the birthday book. Let me just go back to the book here. Let me go back to the file there, and then go to book. And now, let me say I delete the entry for these 3 people here. So now this file contains only 7 people in the book. Okay. So now, if I go back to my program, I say load, and then I'll say book.txt. If I do that, and now if I say print, here you can see we only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We only got 7 people here. That means we have somehow changed the contents of the current birthday book according to whatever that's given in this file that we just loaded. Okay, so you got save, you got load. And now one more thing, 2 more things to show you, a few more things to show you. Let's say I would like to save again. Let's say if I say save, now I say book.txt. Remember, book.txt is already there. So this should be considered as an error because we simply don't want to just override the existing file. So this is why you should really output. You would say book.txt already exists. Delete it and try again. Similarly, let's say we would like to load, let's say from another file, let's say book2.txt. As you can see, the book2.txt is not there. So that would also be considered as an error. So if you say book2.txt, enter, so book2.txt cannot be found. Make sure it is there and try again. Okay, so these are basically some example of the features you must implement for your assignment 2. And for more complete description, you can also to read the instructions or come to instructor for clarification. Okay. Finally, we can exit from the program by typing exit, or you can simply type something that doesn't exist. Let's say I want to leave, and leave is not a valid command. And I want to go, it's also not a valid command. You can only say exit to leave, and that's bye. Okay. So that's about part of the some examples of what your program must satisfy. And you should really figure out the test cases yourself as well to make sure your program is as complete as possible.